I can't believe you guys haven't heard this. You guys are on
Eric, we don't
nonstop.
live in fucking Brentwood, California, man. We don't
Oh,
talk.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No,
Maybe I thought you would have
this is
read
all over
the
the internet.
article that we're talking about.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Walkthrough Podcast presented by BAM, where here on this show, we walk you through trending topics and marketing topics each and every single week in real time with the best professionals in the business. I have a cough drop in my mouth because I'm sick. My name is Dan O'Neill, and I am the Capitan of BAM, team leader here in New York and in Florida, and I'm absolutely in one today and excited to moderate today's show. Joining me as always, and let me first say, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, Eric, thank you for taking time away from walking down Route 101. Thank you for taking time away from rescheduling your 5th facial this week. Also, happy Hanukkah, Mr. Eric DeBrook, Agent Simon. How are you?
Adonai Hamvarach. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'na'atan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notein ha'torah. There we go.
Amen.
Good to be
also
here.
Joining us this week are two of the best humans you can find. First, we have all the way from sunny SRQ, Mr. Dan McKinnon, absolutely slinging it in Sarasota, Manatee County. What an afternoon we had a few weeks ago. Maybe the best tour guide in all of Sarasota. What a day that was. Dan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing awesome, man. Yeah, it was a good time. It was we got to get out and get the sun in our eyes and check out some $1 million homes. But no, it's good to be back and chatting with you guys. Happy holidays. Good to see everybody.
You got the sun in your eyes, Dan?
Yes.
Is that a good thing?
Got to talk to my mom. I forgot we haven't been on the show since then. It's a funny story.
This guy, yeah. His mom is, you know what? Some people say, like, and I've heard them say at different conferences throughout the country, like, Dan, he is something else. Not me, Dan O'Neill. Dan O'Neill, he's just something else. Well, I got the pleasure of speaking to his mother on the phone. Well, she didn't know that I was listening, and she didn't know. But she went deep Italian, just mouthing off to some guy in traffic that she didn't know. So, yeah, if anyone wants to know and they wonder to themselves, where did Dan come from? Go meet Dan's mom. You will understand it all.
Shout out to my mother. That was so funny. And last but never least, a fan favorite and only person on planet Earth that could get me to go to Washington, D.C. for Realtor Prom, Miss Lindsay Joe. Lindsay, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
We are even more excited to have you. On today's show, we're talking the real estate buzzword of the year, incredible news for all of us to end the year, how to get business, or more business, I should say, from your sphere and DMs, and much, much more. Before you do that, make sure to smash and like, subscribe, get into BAMX, and let's get into it. Finally, some positive news here. If you have not shared this out, stop what you're doing right now and go do it. Mortgage rates dropped after the FOMC meeting. Use these scripts to share this news from Tom Toole, Vanessa Bowen, and the entire BAM staff. Following the final FOMC meeting of the year, Fed Chair Jerome Powell, a.k.a. my cousin, shared key details and projections during a press conference held yesterday afternoon. As expected, Powell announced the decision to hold rates steady for the third straight time with a unanimous vote to keep the borrowing rate between 5.25% and 5.5%. In addition, Powell shared projections from the committee which indicate at least 3 cuts in 2024, assuming quarter percentage point increments. So, as Tom Toole stated on today's hot sheet, the market reacted beautifully. This includes mortgage rates, which fell by 27 basis points to 6.82% on Wednesday. How you doing? And welcomed news for the entire industry. So, although mortgage rates, side note, and other long-term rates are not directly set by the Fed, they're following market expectations based on what the Fed does determine short-term rates. And with the Fed's projections shared on Wednesday, it's clear that there are positive expectations, leaving us with good news heading into the new year. And even the Dow Jones closing at a record high yesterday. So Tom went on in this article and gave us a text script to reach out to your clients with, an email script to reach out to your clients with, a video message script to get out to your clients. The biggest thing here is this is positive news. Everybody that's been waiting on the sidelines, buyers and sellers, whoever, Eric himself, this is good news. Rates are coming down. We got finally something good to share. Dan, what was your takeaway from this, and what can agents be doing actionable item-wise to share this out?
I mean, this is the news we've been waiting for. I don't know if Christmas could come early for too many people, but this was it. A no news is good news for us. The no rate hike, the no change is actually a great thing, because what we're seeing is Uncle Jerome. He's sitting back and saying, "Hey, we got the soft landing we wanted. We're not going to get into this recession." But what we're going to now do is we're going to reward and we're going to cut big time next year. And I think that it's super important to know that it's been really hard this year, because on one side, whether you believe or not that the Federal Reserve can tamper inflation or not, I do think that we're in a place now where hopefully we can see rates coming down. This morning, my local lender here sent me FHA rates with no points at 5.75 for an FHA. I mean, we haven't seen that type of work or movement in a long period of time. So for buyers out there, this is huge. This is massive. It's going to change the way your payments are going to be. It's going to change your affordability. So as the agents that are watching this, you need to reach out. I don't care if you're sitting there and saying, "Hey, I don't know what to say." Jump into the article. Tom Toole says the most basic things. And if you don't have the answers after that, reach out to your local lender and say, "Hey, I need to get this information out there." Because this is the biggest change we've had all year long in positive news. We've seen the rates slowly go up, and we were sitting there in 2020, whatever, and saying, "Hey, you need to buy at 3% or it's going to go up." Well, we hit that up. So I think that this couldn't have been better news for the holidays. I couldn't think this is a better time for the start of the year with people after that holiday rush. So I'm amped about it, guys. It's great news.
Absolutely, and it's something too that like it's so weird. We've been role playing, with like the 8% rate objection and kind of going through everything, and now we're back to role playing now, multiple offer situations, reaching out to every single person in our database. When I texted you guys this morning at 8:27 a.m., there was 37 people on Zillow in our pipeline that had not been on in 6 months, and that was only at 8:37 that were now back on for the first time in 6 months, and we saw their activity. I'm sure by now at 12:40, there's even probably triple that. Lindsay, how are you reaching out to your clients? What are you doing with some of your agents, your downline? Are you prepping them for Q1 here with this news? Are you sharing any articles, social media?
Yeah, I mean, rates dropped. It's great news. I would just say reach out to your database, tell them, let them know. I thought the scripts that Tom Toole gave were awesome. I thought it was a great article. That's all I have to say about it.
Doing the green screens, obviously, to these articles is extremely effective. Katie Day's about to release one with BAM about how agents should deliver this. So everybody go to the Now BAM Instagram account and watch Katie Day deliver this news with an incredible hook, and then telling her or telling us how to actually use that article in a video. I saw Brooks Landry yesterday shared on his Instagram story, just like after he said, "Good morning, good morning, good morning," as he does every single morning. Yeah, exactly. He shared just 10 different articles, just the screenshots of 10 different articles announcing the rate decreases. So obviously getting this information out on social media is ideal.
Last point too, my team always has this thing where, and sometimes even my head too, they're like, "Well, why am I going to post it out? Byron or Tom or Bam's already shared it." Well, your consumers, your clients maybe they don't follow Bam, maybe they don't follow Byron, right? Like it needs to come from you. The same way that if the IRS came out with something new, or like, I would want my accountant to call me and tell me, "Hey, you have something going on with something new with taxes or something new with workers' comp." So we kind of have to have that mentality of like, even though maybe they're not asking for it, we are their go-to experts. We're their person, right? They're the resource. Share the news out. Include it in your holiday Popeyes.
You're hitting something on the head, Dan, is that all of us kind of live within a chamber here as realtors. Like we see all of our own stuff. We see Brooke share something. We see Katie share the other thing. And we're like, well, everyone covered it. Well, the hard part is that Brooks lives in California and Katie's in Texas, and none of my clients saw that stuff. So I think we have to be really cognizant and know that we may look like every one of our friends putting that stuff out, but our core audience should be more clientele and more people looking for this information. Now, if you're struggling and you're still looking at that Tom Toole stuff, I've even, I think this came from Jimmy Mackin, but Chris Benyamin is doing this thing where he was sharing with me. He went into his database and said,
wait.
You put the emphasis on like
red flag.
Benyamin.
Benyamin. Was that part of Eric's prayer earlier?
All right. Whatever, guys. You want to pick apart my accent? We could sit here all day.
That ain't no accent, boy. That ain't no southern accent right there. That ain't no southern accent. That was a.
Anyways, what I was going to say to all you agents out there to help versus cut down other people with comical jokes. We'll talk about memes later. is just to reach out to your database and say, hey, rates have come down. If they go below this number, would you like me to reach out? And I just thought that was a super simple way to be soft with your database because, hey, not everyone is going to be happy about buying at 6.5%. But hey, if they go below 6, should we have a conversation? So if you're out there wondering, I think there's a handful of ways to reach out. And yeah, you guys need to chill. You guys need to laugh a little, smile today, okay?
Always assume that nobody has seen your content. 90% of the people have not seen your content, even your followers. And you're so right, Dan. Just because some other realtor posted in your community about the rate decrease doesn't mean you shouldn't, because you don't want to hear it from somebody else, right? You don't want your buyer to get reached out to by another agent, or they see their content and see the way they're describing these articles, and then you're just kind of left in the dust there. So good news for agents. Finally, some good news going into 2024. And I got some more good news, Dan. I got some more good news because we have the word of the year, the BAM word of the year. First off, the Oxford Dictionary word of the year was just released last week, and it was Riz. Lindsay, do you know what Riz is?
No, I have no idea. What is that?
You've never heard of Riz?
All right,
No.
I actually don't know what it is either.
Are you kidding me,
Oh,
Dan? You're
come
like a
on.
TikTok consumer. Okay, Dan McKinnon knows. It's the
Whoa,
ability. It's like the ability to attract a romantic partner is the actual definition of it. It's like, yeah, when you say like Tommy DeVito's got Riz, or someone's like acting cool, or he's making like a Riz face, or she's making a Riz face. How have you never heard this?
Like, have you seen Dan McKinnon at all those conferences? He got Riz.
Yeah, he has Riz. It's like charisma. It's like swag. Yeah.
Oh,
It's like the ability to like appear I can't believe you guys haven't heard this. You guys are on
Eric, we
wild.
don't live in fucking Brentwood, California, man. We don't
Oh,
talk.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
No,
Maybe I
this is-
thought you would have
this is
read
all over
the
the
article that we're talking about that
No, I didn't need
mentions
to.
exactly what Riz is.
I
What do you
didn't
mean you didn't need to? You didn't know what it was.
Of course, because I wanted you to articulate it to me, and that's also
Articulate. That's your word of the. That's
Yeah, no.
your
I got
word
one
of
better
the year,
for you,
100. Okay. Easy. Take it easy. Let me just introduce what this is. First, I posted on the Broke Agent. I said, "What is the real estate word of the year?" Guess how many comments this thing got? 2,000.
1,000.
People were fired up in the comments. 2,000 comments. People were fired up about this. A lot of people dropping different words. Some people said waiting, Rizflation, ghosted, tears, pivot, alcoholism, 6%, shit show. But the word of the year, the unanimous decision, was lawsuit because of Stitzer Burnett, because of all the copycat lawsuits. So that makes sense. That was the unanimous decision, not unanimous, but the majority decision, word of the year. So Lindsay, I'm going to go to you first. What is the word of the year, the real estate word of the year from Lindsay Joe?
Yeah, I love the idea of picking a word to focus on for the year. I've done this like every year for almost 6 years. Last year, my word was growth. One year it was yes. Another year it was no. So I love this idea. My word for 2024 is purpose. It's purpose. So I feel like this is the year where I'm really going to define my purpose in our industry, not just like as an agent who sells real estate, but as a leader within our industry as well, specifically for women realtors. So
I like
love
that.
this idea. Think everyone should pick a word to focus on for their year.
Lindsay Joe's word of the year is purpose. Dan McKinnon, what is your real estate word of the year?
You know, guys, I got to get a little bit real with it. It's DTI. Y'all are renting and getting too many services up in here. I saw some people with, there was someone that did a reel. I forget who did it, with the amount of car payments going on. I saw car payments at $1,600 a month. Our whole world needs to chill with our DTI. There's no way that anyone is going to buy a house with forget the avocado toast, with people with $1,200, $1,400 car payments. So yeah, I'm getting old man. Really cranky old man for 2024. And if I hear anyone saying they can't buy a house, and I understand that they have $400 a month in services to watch TV, I think we got problems, guys.
Dan, if you found out what my car payment is, you'd probably smash my face through a window. Eric, what's your word of the year? Taylor Swift? Is it her whole entire album?
Authenticity? No, I don't know. I
know what it is right here because I wrote it down. I got it right here. If you're watching, look right here. This was a ruse. I have it right here. I don't know if you can see all my buzzwords right here, but I wrote them all down. So I have SOPs, articulate, real or reach, I don't know. SOPs, OP, EXP, content creator, times 10, rates, the Fed, like as if it's the FBI's coming to your house. Back to basics, downline, knowledge broker, be the knowledge broker, downline, YouTube, hammer, YouTube, webinar, creator, agent number 1, Bam X, Taylor Swift, Diabolical, Articulate, and then I even
What
did
is
one
happening?
I did one better. It's called a bit, Dan. Just shut up and listen to it. It's called a bit. I did one better. This is what Eric's favorite sayings are too. Eric, every single day. Who should we have on the walkthrough this week? Something, something, hairline, Miles, U of A. When I send him my content, he says it's funny, ... which means it's not funny.
That means it's
There you
not
go,
funny.
folks. Nick, this is not funny, right? There you go.
That was
All right?
great.
Good job.
This is
That
good.
is that is fantastic. Yes, Dan. If Dan sends me something that's funny, I say it is funny for most of the industry, but it's not funny, if that makes sense. My word of the year, Dan, you're right. You hit it on the head. My word of the year is YouTube for agents. I think coming from a content perspective, which is my word of the year last year perspective, is that everybody is now doubling down on the long form content. And it seems like everyone's kind of focusing more on YouTube and getting leads there. And that's where all agents want to direct their content to that platform. So that's my word of the year. Dan, great job with that. You missed insane, though. Insane is one of my favorite other words.
I did, but you know what my word of the year is going to be, Eric? Oh my God. If I was Tony Reali right now, I'd be like, ding, 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 ding. My word of the year, buddy, is going to be Bam X.
Oh, I like that. That is the best word of the year. Get in the BAMX platform right now. Use code WALKTHROUGH, WALKTHRU, for 10% off. We have the best courses, trainings, live streams in the game. We literally went over how to build a YouTube thumbnail live in BAMX this week. We got Byron covering his hot sheet slides in BAMX and how to use all of his notes next week. Today, if you're watching this, you might have tuned into the Chris and Dan webinar, short form to long form content. Guess where we're taking that afterwards, Dan? BAMX for another exclusive live stream. So get in BAMX right now. Use code WALKTHROUGH. If you're not going to use it, get it for one of your agents. Get it as a Christmas gift. Get it as a Kwanzaa gift. Get it as a Hanukkah gift. It is the 7th night right now, Dan, and I still have not received one gift. You're the only person here that has wished me happy Hanukkah. My wife hasn't even gotten me a gift yet. This is bullshit.
Call in right now.
No, don't call her.
All right.
She's at a doctor's appointment.
All right. Well,
she's fine.
Get
Just a little checkup.
Get the BAMX, and maybe somebody sends this kid an Amazon gift card or something.
Yeah, can I get a Hanukkah gift, please, from somebody? some listener, will you send me a gift? That's all I want. Give me another yarmulke or something to cover up my bald spot. I don't care.
All right. All right. By the way, what a layup there. By the way, 10 points for
that was your best transition ever. That was fantastic.
Told you I'm in one. All right.
You're in one. Let's go.
On to topic number 3. Speaking of being in one here, 4 things you can do today to get more business from your sphere. Lindsay, you wrote this article, and I'm not remembering the exact number that you posted on your story the other day, but you've done an article for BAM. How many weeks consecutive was it?
34 weeks in a row.
Damn. Now this is a Southern drawl right there. Damn, girl. That's a lot of articles right there. Damn. Great job. That's incredible. Remaining consistent and with it. So do you want to get into this, kind of explain a little bit of the article and what exactly we can be doing as agents, some of these actionable steps to get more business from our sphere?
Yes. So in the past, I was super guilty of not staying in touch with my past clients. Like, I'm great at getting new leads and picking like the low hanging fruit of clients that are ready to transact right now. But staying in touch with past clients was kind of difficult for me. So within the last year, I've made it a priority to really get that on lock. And so in the article, I talk about 4 different ways that you can get business from your sphere. And I can just kind of quickly like go into those. So number 1, home anniversary videos. I have one video that I send to everyone. It just says, today is a special day. It's your home anniversary. And I send that along with a voice memo to make it kind of more personalized. You can set up calendar reminders on your phone to remind yourself of those home anniversaries, or you can send all of your altas to your virtual assistant and have them send you a calendar reminder. So it's super easy, super simple. Number 2, the real estate health checkup video. I know we've talked about this over and over and over. Tom Story gave us this idea where you send a video to your past clients and you say this is your real estate health checkup. We go to the doctor once a year, at least you should. So why don't we have a real estate health checkup? And in that video, you show that client everything that has sold in that person's neighborhood in the last 6 months. And I really like this idea, but I'm all about having the majority of the work done for me to make it simple and easy. So I created a similar video, but instead of me talking about the past sales in their neighborhood on video. I have one video that goes out to everyone. And then again, I'll have my assistant pull the data on the closed sales in their neighborhood. So it's less work on my end. And then the video goes out and then the sales go out in an email. And then number 3 is HomeBot. Sorry, I'm sick. HomeBot, super simple, super easy. Set up property alerts for all your past clients. And then number 4, quarterly gifts. So I'm all about systems, making things like super automated, super easy. So I like a company called Pop by Co. You send them a CSV list with your clients' names and addresses. They will send out gifts on your behalf. Pop by Co is super cute, fits my brand really well. I also use a company called Dare & Co. They're a little bit more expensive, but they will write out a handwritten note for you, which I love. There's another one called Client Giant, which I know a lot of agents use. So just use something. There's so many different options. I think if agents who are watching this can just pick one thing from this article to implement, like literally just one, then I think that they'll be in good shape.
And now is the time to use something like Popeye. It's called Popeye Co.
Pop by Co.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what sort of gifts are on Popeye Co? Like, are you selecting the same gift for all of your clients, or is it specialized to each one?
They're specialized monthly and they're usually themed. So like this month is a
Chewy?
cute little candle. Like, did you say like Chewy?
Yeah.
Like the dog
Yeah.
website? No, it's not like
What?
Chewy. This is much. I don't even know what you're talking about, Dan.
No one knows what
What are you
Chewy is. It's a
talking
monthly
about?
dog subscription.
I know what
that
Chewy
they
is.
send your
They
dog.
send you gifts to your dog.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Continue.
Sure.
It's like-
maybe.
it's
You guys
like
know
dude
what
wipes.
Riz is, but you don't know what the company Chewy is, and you have a
I know what
110-pound
Chewy is.
dog behind. So what?
It's like
I
dude
know
wipes,
what
Dan. You
Chewy
get
is.
butt wipes delivered to your door once a week.
If there's
I
anyone
didn't know
in
that
this,
Chewy
in
did
this 4
like
pillars here
personalized
that gets
gifts.
dude wipes delivered to their house, it is you, Eric. I'm sorry, Lindsay. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. Yeah, you can pick based on the month. So like October had cute little Halloween things, like little marshmallows in the shape of ghosts. And then like December is like little like candles. I don't know. You can pick. It's monthly.
I like audience.co too. So that's
Mhm.
my handwriting, as everyone just saw up here. It looks like I wrote with my left foot. So you could actually write something one time, right? Like, so it looks like it's a handwritten letter, and you could mass send it out to your clients and change the name on it as well. So that way they actually think you took the time to handwrite the note, especially as your sphere and your pipeline continues to grow. Dan, what are some of the things that you are doing? Actually, and I have a good point here to tee up this to you and maybe even Lindsay. I made the mistake of getting somebody alcohol as like a holiday gift, not knowing that they were in recovery and or sober, and it was a little uncomfortable and a little awkward. So I learned my lesson. What do you guys give to your clients for the holidays? Dan, I'll start with you. And
Yeah, that's funny. I actually get a lot of alcohol, and I just kind of like re-give it because not many of my clients know. My clients give me gifts sometimes, and I'm like, I don't drink, so it's kind of funny. But so I guess I kind of learned from that is I don't give alcohol. I always try to find something that's super thoughtful. That I have really picky in-laws that are really hard to shop for. That kind of have everything, so it's kind of taught me one thing: you got to get people something that they'd never get themselves. And so what I get is when you're in Florida is something like a pineapple plant or like an orange tree or something like that, because no one wants to spend $30-$40 on these things. But once you have it, you're kind of like, this is really cool. Plus you kind of remember it, and it's kind of different. So for me, it's always price. Price is hard because like if you want to get a nice bottle of wine for someone, it's going to be $100. Now, if you have 32 clients, you're talking 35, $4,000 by the time you're done wrapping and delivering and all that. So I think I try to come up with different ideas to make an impact that's cost effective too, because it's the end of the year. It's not like you're kind of cutting this from every check. So I think that if we're talking real deal business now, I think that, I try to come up with something that's nifty, that's something that they're going to smile about, but then it's not going to put me into the grave money wise.
Dan, getting pineapples for your clients can be a little risky, huh? Because if you have a pineapple in your house or hanging from your door, you know what that means?
It's upside
Dan,
down.
what does that mean, Eric? What does
I'll
that
tell
what does
you.
it mean, Eric?
I'll tell you. It means you're a swinger or you're open
What does that
to
mean?
swinging. Oh,
No,
you don't know
that's
what that
the
means either?
upside down.
Do you know what anything
That's the
means?
upside down.
No, Riz? No, I don't know what Riz means. I don't know what swinging means.
You don't know what swinging means? Swinging means if you're a couple, you're interested in having other partners enter your relationship and
what do you
having
mean?
sex
Like
with
a
them.
like a
So if you
friendship?
have
What do you do?
feel like
Not
this
like
is
a
going to go
friendship.
downhill.
So like if you have an upside down pineapple and you have another couple over there for dinner and they notice that thing because Dan McKinnon got it for you, that means they're probably going
Wow.
to sleep with you. So
So,
Dan, you
Would that
better
be
make
on
sure
the
you
back
warn
of
your
your
clients.
windshield? Was that what you had on the back of your windshield when you picked me up next to the U of A sign when you picked me up from the LAX that time? Remember I asked you what that was? And you said it was like a
It's
logo?
like not a big deal. It's just not a big deal. he
No,
said.
that was the BAM logo. That wasn't a pineapple.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does
Yeah,
it mean if you have an upside down BAM logo, BAM X logo? What does that mean? Does that mean that you're
That means you're a genius and you're a part of the best community on the face of the earth.
Speaking of being a genius here, home anniversaries. I love that Lindsay Joe pointed that out. I group all my contacts on my phone by past clients, like CEOs, right, and different people, so that way I can literally just go down my list and they all are. I use my time hop, and I also use my Facebook and different social media avenues, and I make sure that my birthdays are on. So like I'll go through every day, make it a point for like a minute or two to like see whose birthday it is on my Facebook page with like 5,000 people, and I just sit there and I wish everyone happy birthday. But it's a way of staying in touch with these people, and that way they engage with your content. And by people, I mean like your sphere, CMAs, because everybody wants to know their home value. Audience.co I mentioned, and I do have a funny story. Or client events, and I do have a funny story here, really quick. This happened to me this weekend. As I try to work to our pipeline now, and past client list has grown from 3 to 800. Right. I haven't seen these people. This is one of my first ever sales. I'm ice skating for the first time since I'm like 12 years old. I'm zipping around, flying backwards. I'm snowing people. All of a sudden, I see one of my first ever clients. I'm like, oh my God, Jerry, do you guys remember me? They didn't recognize me at first. As I skated away, they did. Whatever. Long story short, I wound up having a long conversation with them. They're really good people. Their son comes up to me. He's wearing a Kansas City Chiefs jacket, iced out, right? Iced out. I'm like, what? Like I noticed him from a mile away. He comes up to me afterwards. He's like, "Oh, you're the one that my dad was telling me about. I just moved from Kansas City. My house is on the market. The agent can't sell it." And I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense." He's like, "Yeah, I just got off tour. Eric, do you know who he was on tour with? I'll give you one hint. Caribou
Taylor
Lou.
Swift.
Caribou Lou.
Tech Nine.
Yeah, he's on tour with Tech Nine.
Mama
Lives
say
in Kansas
stop or
City.
I'm gonna tell Papa. Remember that song?
And yeah,
This is the town where the clowns put it down, baby. That song was sick.
So
Tech Nine's a sick rapper.
And this kid, his son is on tour with him and Fat Jelly. What's the guy's name?
Fat Joe.
No,
Fat Jelly.
Grammy.
Whatever.
Jelly
Where's
Roll?
the story going? What's the
Jelly
point of
Roll,
the story?
Jelly Roll.
So you saw
So
Fat
long
Joe.
story short,
What are we going here?
I didn't do a good job of
You can't say
following
long.
up.
All right. Go ahead.
I didn't do a good job of following up with my clients from the very beginning. I ran into them after 3 long years this past weekend ice skating, made the relationship. Their son happened to be in town who was moving from Kansas City. Turns out he is touring with Tech Nine, leaving Kansas City, needs an agent. Boom. Needs an agent here to buy a house. Boom. I love Caribou Lou. I love Tech Nine. And as a reminder to now go reach out to your past clients because you never know who they will turn out to be. They could be a garbage man, and then they could be on tour with Tech Nine. You never know. It doesn't matter either way.
On tour with Tech Nine.
What
was the point of the story? That to go ice skating and then you might run into past clients? By the way, if you say long story short throughout the story that continues to be long, you're cutting up your story in different pieces. If you're going to say long story short, you got to just say that and then make the story short. Anna always says this when she's telling me a story, she'll be like long story short, and then proceeds to tell me a 40-minute story afterwards. I'm like, you can't say long story short if you're going to do it. Good story though.
Yeah, but I could have gone longer. Let's just put it that way. I could have added in how
great.
Riding around, how he showed me some of his verses. Okay,
no, keep going. Yeah. I'm gonna hear the rest of it.
He was showing me his verse. I didn't believe him. The guy, what are you doing in Port Jefferson, Long Island, buddy? You're wearing a $50,000 bedazzled, bejeweled, AP. He ain't lying though. He was on tour with Fat Jelly, whatever his name is, and Tech Nine. Yes,
that story was so long that I had a coughing attack. I cried. I went upstairs, got Robitussin, chugged it, came back down, and you were still telling the story. So,
hey Dan,
that's all.
Hey, you know what? Reminder:
it was a good story though. Follow up with your past clients. Exactly. Speaking of not following up with your past clients,
like this is this guy Steve
Harney. Exactly. So
do you guys know who Steve Harney in Port Jefferson, Eric? And yeah, this is another one right here. Steve Harney does because he's from Long Island. There you go.
There you go. So Steve Harney is the founder and chief of content of Keep and Current Matters. Highly respected. He started a 500 agent firm. He's one of the most 100 influential people by Inman News. He has one of the best Twitter feeds in the game, I would say. He speaks at all these conferences. But yesterday, he posted a tweet. It said, every day on social media, I see agents making fun of our industry by posting memes, hoping to get a laugh. Those who mock real estate agents and what they do not realize is that consumers also see these posts. Mocking your profession in public by posting crazy memes is further damaging people's perception of the industry at a time where our actions are already under scrutiny. Before the critics start calling me the grumpy old man, I do understand inside humor. I rarely find this type of humor funny, but I do understand the occasional need for comic relief. However, everyone should realize that the reason it's called inside humor is because it doesn't belong outside. Just suggesting. So, was Steve Harney talking about me here? No, I don't think so. I think he's talking about agents that are doing skits, posting memes, stuff like that. But Lindsay, we'll start with you. What were your thoughts on Steve Harney's tweet? Do you think he's a little out of touch here, or do you think he has a point that some of these memes are damaging the industry?
Yeah, so I think this is tough because I do think we have to be careful with making fun of clients. I think that should be avoided for sure. I used to do that, and I have a lot of clients who follow me, and I never want them to think that my videos are directed at them specifically. So I've gotten away from that. So in that sense, I do agree with him that you shouldn't make fun of your clients. But I think that in order to stay sane in this industry, we have to have some kind of meme page and like creative outlet where we can go to, like the BA, and just laugh about dads like ruining inspections or deals from hell, because this industry can feel really lonely at times, and there's a lot of like grind culture and hustle posts and like winning constantly. And so I think I would kind of go insane if we didn't have some kind of creative outlet. So I think it's fine to share the BA memes when they're not making fun of your clients. Like, I think the agent stuff is fine to share because it makes you relatable, but I don't think you should publicly share the memes that are like trash talking your clients. I just think that's not a very good look. So I do kind of agree with him a little bit.
What about agents?
Yeah, when I was active in real estate, Lindsay, I had that problem where a couple times I posted about buyers who kept switching locations and changing up their budget. And I always tried to do it a couple months after I actually closed a deal with them. But I was always hyper aware, like, oh shit, if I share this meme, is that buyer going to think this is about them? Because obviously I'm pulling this content from personal experience. So
Right.
that is damaging. But my brand is about building real estate humor, right? It's about building an agent audience. I'm trying to attract other agents. And I think it is necessary as a pressure release valve for people who clearly find value in humor, because there is a ton of value in humor. Before the Broke Agent page, before everybody started making, funny jokes about what was happening in the real estate industry, just like you said, it was one of the stuffiest industries known to mankind. 2014, 15, when I got in the industry, it was just suited motivational quotes, just like you said, grind culture, the same old stuff, everybody posting their wins. So I like now that agents are branching out and doing comedy and doing stuff that actually like pours rocket fuel on their marketing. Like, everyone knows that if you make something funny, that's going to get a lot more shares. Dan McKinnon, what are your thoughts on this? You were fired up about it in the text combo.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I can't wait for these people to leave the industry. I'm sorry. I think that these are the type of people that I've dealt with even when I was in advertising and marketing, that they think the industry standard is what they grew up with. They think the industry standard is what their viewpoint towards it is. But I don't think that this guy understands that the new age of clientele, the new age of customers want genuine, actual humanistic responses and communication, and they want to laugh. They want to be able to chuckle a little bit. Life is really hard. Life wasn't hard when you were selling real estate 20 years ago. I'm sorry. Like, you can jump on. There's just so many ways to get an agent, so many ways to get a deal. I just think that to sit there and say that it's I mean, you go through the comments, it's enraging to me, is all these like suited up guys in the comments on this being like, they really need to make it an associate's degree. It's like,
I saw that.
you got in this when you probably had to put your name on a piece of paper. So like, there's been no actual testing back. So I don't know. I just think that like any industry that has fun with things, you can tell the people enjoy working. And I've never been in an industry that I've met so many people that love what they do. And let people live. If people don't like it, let PR be the judge, juror, and executioner. Don't let one person on Twitter start defining what we can and cannot do in a business that's literally, we are running our own businesses. So let the marketing be.
Memes are not ruining the reputation of real estate agents. It's bad real estate agents. Yeah, it's bad deals and bad real estate agents, which is probably the majority of real estate agents. So anyone that's had a bad experience with the 87% they're going to lose their license in the next 5 years or get out of the industry voluntarily, those are the people. It's not completely someone sharing a meme or doing something funny. I do see his point, though, that if you are sharing content that makes you look incompetent, right? So if you're sharing a broke agent meme where it's like, oh, I don't know what the inspector's talking about, or what's the difference between hardwood floor and laminate, like that's just agent to agent humor. That's something you send in a DM to your boys or your girls. That's something like you just send in the group chat, right? That's not something you want to post to your story and say, oh my God, I relate to this. I have no idea what the inspector's saying. Of course you're not going to do that. Dan, I see you chomping at the bit over there. My God, what's going on? You're about to eat the microphone. I see you going like this. You're like going back and forth like you're at the Wailing Wall in Jerusalem.
I was saying, good job.
Oh,
No, but
thanks.
I
Thank you.
cannot believe these words are going to come out of my mouth, but I actually agree with Steve Harney here. And as somebody that was like absolutely ridiculed from the very beginning about the content from everyone on Long Island, he is a Long Island legend. I interpreted what he was saying differently than what you guys are interpreting, and that could be me. I think that, Eric, your point of like it's the agents who don't know what they're doing that are ruining this industry, but it's also the agents that don't know what they're doing that are now also giving a platform and creating this content that they're pushing out to consumers. They're pushing out to the rest of the industry. They're maybe making fun of another agent and how bad the industry is. Maybe they're sharing your memes about, you know, their clients, whatever it may be. I use like the self-deprecating and the funny content and me making fun of myself as in a way, almost as like a, hey, this is what other agents can be like. So that's why you need to hire us, right? Like that's kind of how I interpret it. And that is my creative outlet and all the above. But I do agree with them in the sense that it's just like, there's so much garbage fucking content that is created on Instagram, on all these platforms by our industry and by the agents. And I'm sorry that I said it. I don't know, maybe I'm the Grinch this year, but I don't even want to open up I don't even want to open up Instagram. I open up Instagram and I see that article that was posted out earlier about rates, and there's 19 different, opinions on it, but none of them actually read the fucking article. So how are you going to give an opinion? You didn't read it. You're referring to the Fed, to like the federal, like the FBI. So that's what I think. I think the way that I interpret it was just like, we got, some of the content is just basura, which means garbage.
The kettle black.
I agree. I'll be the first one to say it. I agree, and that's why I said I cannot believe that I'm going to say this. But that's it. You're exactly right. I don't know. I think that people, be funny, be creative, be you. Don't let anyone ever judge you. But I think making fun of other agents, and I think making fun of your consumers and clients is maybe not the best move. And it's something I would try to get away from.
His point about inside humor is right. That's why you don't share this to Facebook. That's why you just use the Instagram comments. That's why the broke agent platform is so great for Instagram, is because you're just tagging your friends and be like, oh my God, this is us at this listing, as opposed to sharing that to your story. That's how you interact with this content. Right.
There's a time and a place for everything. And I think that some of the stuff that I'll comment on the BA page, I would never hope that any of my clients would see it because it's ridiculous. But at the same time, that's for one purpose versus me not sharing things on a public story. Like you said, it's like the hungover memes. That's great. But if you're sharing that to your main page, your clients may think you're an alcoholic.
Yeah. I think it's also just kind of like growing up.
True. I've pulled back on the hungover memes. Yeah. I've 100% pulled back on the alcohol memes just because there's like a public sentiment right now against alcohol in general. There's like a huge sobriety wave, which I totally get makes sense. So I've purposefully done less posts about alcohol because I'm not trying to like put fuel to the fire of that culture in real estate. Go ahead, Dan.
But it's also the evolution of content. It's also the evolution of this industry, this market, right? So 3 or 4 years ago, like dancing on TikTok to a trending Tiesto sound was like, oh my God, like rates are here. Bam, 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 bam. That was right. That was what worked then. So I think it's the evolution of content, and I think it's just changing with that, right? Like, not to say that time is a circle here, and we're I'm the grumpy old man, and I'm like whatever, but I think it's just evolving with the times. I used to post all your hungover shit. I used to post bottle service on my Instagram story every weekend. Hell, you won't see me. Granted, there's a glass of wine on my Instagram story literally right now, but I didn't drink it.
You were literally
just in the club
last night.
Yeah.
I didn't drink it.
You just posted a video of you and DJ Carnage 2 weeks ago at his table with bottle service, raging your ass off. DJ Gordo.
October. DJ Eczema.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, a little preview of what's coming, huh? DJ Eczema.
I don't.
Hey, Eric, speaking of evolution of content, oh my God, I'm in one so bad right now. Speaking of the evolution of content, you know who's absolutely crushing content? The marketer of the week.
Oh
marker
my
of the week,
God.
Mr.
Yeah, but the marketer of the week, Haley, we're going to skip topic number 5. That was very brief anyways. Basically, Instagram is now allowing you to live stream from your computer. You could go on, I don't know, is it not create mode?
OBS.
OBS, Streamlabs, you could do on the create menu on your desktop, which actually I think is pretty cool because you don't have to hold your phone. You could do it while you're sitting open houses. You could have better communication with the people on your lives. For me, if I could do lives on Instagram from my computer, you could basically host a webinar to thousands of people immediately without having to get them to sign up. So if you're an agent, you do first-time buyer seminar or whatever, going live right now, that's a more effective webinar than actually trying to get people to go. So
Could you do that straight from Instagram, Eric?
Yes. I think that's the point, I think, is that it's coming from your Instagram account.
That's cool.
Which is sick, yeah. So let's get into the marketer of the week. This is long overdue. Haley, if you could please pull this up. I got a little surprise for everybody here. The marketer of the week, a former arch enemy of Byron Lazine, who is constantly gaining his respect back with post after post after post. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Ricky Carruth.
Well, I think it's mostly that's Instagram, and those do really well. The green screen article, those are my biggest watched videos on Instagram. But I figured out a little hack here, right? It's like, find an intriguing article. They're going to read the headline, and they're like, oh, what does Ricky have to say about this? As I'm saying, ooh. So they're like, really like, okay, what the hell's fixing to happen? And then I break down some great data they probably didn't think about, or whatever my opinions are. That's a little hack. Same thing with Instagram stories. I realized that if I erased all yesterday's stories and started fresh, wrote like a paragraph on a story where people had to put their thumb on it to stop the story to read it, then Instagram would fire it through the algorithm. And then if I could add something at the end where it makes them DM me too, where if they put their thumb on it and are spending time on that piece of
Turn this off. Oh my God. Do you guys hear the music?
Yeah.
Oh
my God,
my God. Sorry. If you're
insane.
listening in headphones at home, I apologize for that. What he was saying made a ton of sense. Let me just break it down real quick. So Ricky Carruth does all these videos where he goes, ooh, and then like reads a green screen article. He does that.
And it's positive. It's positive news as well.
It's usually positive news because right now all you see is negative news, except for today because of the rate drop. So he does this ooh, which is like a good intro hook. It's his signature move. It's like a signature sound. And then he has the article in the background. So while he's saying ooh, you're reading the article, so you're more likely to stay for the rest of the video. Then he made another great point about Instagram stories, where he does very long text that kind of makes you stick your thumb on it and read the entire thing. And then he uses a mini chat saying like, DM me the word diamond, that I'll send you a link to my interview with Grant Cardone or something. So Ricky right now is crushing content. This guy's pumping out a green screen, it seems like every 3 hours. Anytime there's a real estate news article, go to Ricky Carruth's page and check it out. Haley, if you could just play the next one that I posted so we actually could see an example of his article.
And he was like the first one to do green screens, in my opinion.
Nope. Here we go.
This is, guys, listen, the worst ever pending home sales data, worse than 2008. Now, if you want to know why, this is the exact reason why January is going to be the busiest January that we've ever seen in the housing market. Just comment below, update.
So, Lindsay, what are your thoughts on Ricky Carruth as marketer of the week?
Well, is he really an enemy of Byron? I missed that. Can you explain that real quick?
No, they did a debate
Callback, huh?
on free versus paid coaching. When we first launched BAM, Ricky was always on Tom Ferry's, not really necessarily in his comments, but Ricky was always posting memes about free versus paid coaching and basically like pitting himself against all paid coaches. And Byron, obviously a huge advocate of TF and paid coaching and accountability, was like, this is bullshit, basically. So they had a debate. Go watch it. It's actually a great conversation. But Lindsay, what do you think of that? What do you think of the ooh strategy that Ricky does? Do you like it, or does it make you want to chop your arm off?
Well, I mean, I used to think it was kind of annoying, but now I'm like, he's a genius. So I like it. I respect it. I think it's good.
Dan, what are your thoughts? You bothered by this?
I love it. I mean, I think that it works. I think that it's hard, going back to seeing so much stuff online. I think that it's easy to just judge people and be like, dude, this guy's being like crazy a-hole. But it does its job. It stands off the page, it makes you stop, and it makes you go, what headline is Ricky yelling about today? So to be honest, it's a super, super smart strategy because he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit if anyone says, Ricky, you look horrible. Ricky, I love you as a person, but I don't like you yelling. It doesn't matter to him. He goes, what I care about is telling you this information. So I think it's cool because of not only it works in today's, social atmosphere, but that's been his vibe forever. His vibe has been, hey, I'm in your face. I'm telling you the real deal of things, whether you like it or not. So I think it's cool to see someone that's for years now has been very branded very similarly. And you got to give it to him because he still kills it to this day of the same thing. And if you haven't seen that Byron and Ricky thing,
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Go back because there is an awesome part in the video with Ricky's dog that is just the most amazing thing. So it's just, if you're a Ricky fan at all, it's just fantastic. Go watch it. But no, I think he's a genius though. I do think that he knows what he's doing. He doesn't give a shit about his close friends making fun of him or doing whatever. And it's genius because he's getting the follows. He's getting the clicks.
They can make fun of him while he's on his way to the bank. I think this is like WWE. What long-term storytelling this is. I do feel that Ricky's always kind of been like an early adapter of things, but I think like the create mode and just all the articles, the amount of effort and work that does go into it, truly, like to be that consistent each and every day. He's getting the engagement. He's getting the comments. He's doing an incredible job. And again, it's the evolution of content. And I wanted to share these two things too, because I think this is what's most important is that is how he is in real life. And when we did that debate back in the day, and there was maybe a little bit of bad blood. My God, I can't speak today. I was the one that moderated that panel. I brought Ricky in, and he's always been just incredibly nice to me. I wake up to these random messages all the time, and he said I could share them. This is Ricky on Instagram, but this is him in real life too.
Damn, what up, dude? 2024 in this motherfucker. God damn it, boy. Let's fucking get it.
Like unsolicited. Like I haven't talked to him.
He sounds like Theo Vaughn.
Oh, and then listen, one more. Ready?
I'm saying, bro, let's fucking go, son. It's fucking lit. That's it. Just lit.
Yeah, he's honestly bringing a lot of positive energy into the real estate community. Like we said, all of those articles that he's sharing, it's good news articles, or if it's bad news, he's debunking that. And that's the kind of energy you want to see from your real estate agent, is someone who's super excited and who knows how to break down all of these headlines. So shout out Ricky Carruth. I would love to have you on the show at some point, or, in a more long form interview or something. Appreciate you, Ricky.
Yep. And listen, that's also, that is how you build a legacy right there, right? People are going to remember him for bringing positivity, for bringing smiles, right? During this time. And also his predictions have been correct. They've all turned out. What did he say in that article? That January is going to be busy. We haven't seen that yet, but we shall see with the news.
We don't know.
Exactly.
Damn it.
All right, everybody. Chag Sameach. Have a great Hanukkah. Have a great holidays. We will see you next week at our final walkthrough of the year. Lindsay, thank you so much. Happy holidays. Dan, bringing the smiles as always. Join BAMX. Use code walkthrough. Link in the description. Dan, play a little excerpt from DJ Eczema.
I will. And somebody get this guy Eric a Hanukkah gift. My God, that was the outro. That was the most monotone. And thank you everybody for coming. We really appreciate it.
It was almost as good as your story mid episode. We should replay that. That's a good clip. That entire story you told about ice skating and seeing some guy that was at the Tech Nine concert.
One second, hold on.
What the
Who is this? Oh, is this
Jellyfinger?
Is that Danny Deals? Yes, it is.